for today to talk about prompt engineering. What is prompt engineering? Well, ChatGPT, let's start with that. What is ChatGPT? ChatGPT has been a game changer for a lot of industries, but especially for us as real estate professionals. So when we first started talking about ChatGPT, we really were very broad and vague in the sense of this is the easiest method of adding a new blog or new content, any type of content creation for your business in seconds. So my question always when we're talking about ChatGPT is who's added a new blog to their website this week? It's Thursday, right? Blog content or website content is still extremely important in 2023. Yes, things have gone to video. Video is super important, but keywords on your business website, on your Instagram, on your Facebook, any type of content creation, those keywords are critical to ensure that you can organically show up more in those searches people are doing on Google. Google owns the majority of the search engine traffic. So we want to play that game and play that algorithm to make sure that you can show up organically. So again, my question is, who has added a new blog post to your website this week? If you have not, then it would be a good idea to add it to your calendar. Maybe this afternoon, maybe tomorrow, maybe this weekend. Make sure that you are doing that because again, those keywords, after today, you're gonna be able to have the knowledge or at least the template to be able to go in and tell it to act as a digital marketing expert or to include SEO keywords for your local market and all of that. So real briefly, before we dive in, I'm gonna do probably next month. This came up on a call earlier today with one of our sales executives, but in ChatGPT 4, you do have this 4, just so you know, is the one that is paid. So if you're just starting with GPT through OpenAI, you of course can go to chat.openai.com to subscribe. Or to create an account. There is a free version still. 3.5 is still free. It is still very, very good. Very intelligent. GPT-4 has some additional features. You get priority access. So if those using the free version, a lot of people are logged in and the servers are bogged down, you'll be able to still get access. But one thing with GPT-4 that I'll do a training on next month is the plugins, which is currently beta. So you have access to be able to click on that. I have no plugins enabled yet, but you can click the drop down, click plugin store, and you have access to literally hundreds of pages. If I click all here, 118 pages of tons of different plugins. Why is this important? Well, for instance, if you want to create some social media content or something, you can have a Canva plugin, tell ChatGPT to create, social media posts for you for the month or whatever it may be, and that plugin will go in and they will communicate with each other and be able to create all those posts. So that's a little bit more in depth. So we will go through that next month. But I just want you to be aware of that. Those plugins are active and live. If you have GPT-4, you can have access to those. The majority are free. The plugins are free. There are a few that are paid additions, but there are free. Other things that you can include in the plugins, I think most of us or a lot of us have heard of Zapier. Zapier is a technology platform that allows you to connect multiple platforms together to communicate. So if I wanted GPT to send out an email for me, I can maybe connect it to my CRM or social media or anything like that and be able to do those automations in there. But we are going to start our slide deck here. Okay, so again, maybe I'm going to start to the very beginning because maybe there are some new agents on here that haven't been part of the previous ChatGPT trainings. So what is ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT is an AI chatbot that uses natural language processing to create human-like conversational dialogue. Again, this technology, AI, isn't necessarily just copying things from the internet, okay? Artificial intelligence is being trained like a human brain. The more that we use it, the more information that we give it and communicate with it, the better it's going to learn what we are asking. It's going to learn our tone that we prefer. It's going to learn our industry more. It's going to learn a lot of the different things that are going to tailor it to your business. The language model can respond to questions and compose various written content, including articles, social media posts, essays, even coding, like website coding, application coding, mobile app coding, emails, and more. And if you didn't know, GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer, which is just fancy words for it's literally the more that we use it and give it information, the more it's getting trained and understanding of what we are asking it to do. How big is ChatGPT? Well, it's fairly large. So I use this in the very beginning, but this is the time it took for these different platforms to reach 100 million users. So Netflix, which I'm sure we have all heard and used, took a decade to get to 100 million users. Gmail took 5, Twitter took the same. Twitter's now X. Hopefully we all knew that. Facebook is 4.5 years, WhatsApp 3.5 years, Instagram, one of my favorite platforms, 2.5 years, TikTok, astounding 9 months, GPT 2 months, 60 days to 100 million users, which is pretty insane. I think at that point is when they were like, it's time to monetize this, so we're going to charge $20 a month for the GPT-4 version. The growth is insane. And I just want to notate, I've talked about this before, but let's not fear the technology. Let's not necessarily fear AI. I know there's a lot of scary things that are posted and everything about it, but this is truly another tool for us to use to alleviate a lot of the pain points in our business. So prompt engineering explained. Prompt engineering is a process of crafting questions or tasks to ChatGPT for helpful and accurate answers. So again, in the past, we've done things like write me a real estate blog for my website on 10 reasons why you should move to Las Vegas, 10 reasons why you should move to Phoenix, right? Whatever market you're in. You can ask it to maybe write me a social media caption for this, write my listing description, right? All those different things that maybe we get stuck on or we just don't have time for, right? It can do in literally seconds. Basically, the art and science of asking the best possible questions to get the best possible answers. A little bit more detail will go a long way, and you're going to see that in some of these examples that I'm going to show you. Just so you know, we're going to be going back and forth from the slide deck into ChatGPT so that you guys can see real live examples. It's important because creating better prompts will help problem solving, decision making, and learning. Again, the more that you communicate with this, the better it's going to learn on what outcome you are looking for. And it's going to allow you to be clear on what you want to know, share specific information, and provide context for better answers. GPT is learning over time. One of the prompts that we are going to take a look at is act as. Act as is going to give you a much better output. We're also going to talk about the fourth grader technique. What is the fourth grader technique? Essentially, it's breaking down information so a fourth grader will know it, right? A lot of things, just like GPT, right? It's mind-blowing, it's confusing. What is this all about? Trust me, there's a lot of technology coming out. I even feel like it's passing me, and I'm a millennial, which is kind of scary. But using this technology to break down new marketing techniques or just breaking down information that you can quickly consume and better understand. Let's talk about the prompt framework. In the next slide, I'm going to give you the actual. Candace can't see the whole screen. Can everybody else see the whole screen? Everyone can see the whole screen? Candace, you might have to make it a little bit bigger or expand the viewer window. Prompt framework. So I'm going to give you on the next slide the actual template that you can copy and use for yourself as well. But you want to define the task. What does that mean? You want to identify the specific action or goal for the prompt. You want to have clear instructions, outline guidelines or rules for ChatGPT to follow. Change your mindset when you're using this tool. Think of it as you're actually talking to an assistant. If you're going to pay $20, I would honestly pay $200 a month for this platform, but $20 a month, act as if you are communicating with an assistant to get this work done for you, right? You just like a human assistant, you're going to outline guidelines or rules for them to follow, right? You're giving them context, offer context, give background information, examples and scenarios for relevance. And the framework template is your subject, your task, your instructions, and the context that goes along with it. Okay, so here's the template. Subject, your desired subject. I'm going to give you guys an example in the next slide so you have a real life example to actually just copy and duplicate. So your subject, what's the desired subject? Majority of the time, it's going to be real estate, but a little bit more detail. Real estate for what? Is it for buyers? Is it for sellers? What's the full subject involved? Task, what do you want GPT to accomplish? What is the task that you desire to be completed? Instructions, the type of content should be between X amount of words or count range, written in what type of tone, and include at least X amount of specific details. Okay, so you're getting very specific in that. Again, we've been very broad. Write me a blog article for my real estate website on buying real estate in X market, right? It's a little bit more broad. We're going to get a lot more detailed today. Context, imagine you're creating this type of content. Is it for a video? Is it for a blog? Is it for, right? What is it for? For your company targeting X audience. Who's your target audience? It's not just real estate, right? Your audience could be new home buyers, could just be buyers. It could be home owners, could be sellers, right? We're going to describe who that actual target audience is. All right, here's an actual example. So your subject may be selling Phoenix real estate. Your task may be write me a blog post about selling a home in Phoenix. And just so you know, this is something that we would actually just copy and paste into GPT, and I'm going to show you guys that. Instructions. The blog post should be between 700 to 1,000 words, written in an informative and persuasive tone, and include at least 5 benefits of selling your home in Phoenix. See how more detailed that is? It's a lot more detailed. You're going to get a lot better response out of that as well. Context. Imagine you're creating this blog post for a real estate agent targeting homeowners who own real estate in Phoenix. Okay, it's a lot more detail. I'm going to go back to here, and I'm going to actually copy this, and you're going to see that ChatGPT is going to read through this template and outline that we've actually created. So let me move this. I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to paste this in here, and I'm going to hit enter. See how quickly it read? And it's going to go through. As opposed to if I was just more broad and I said, write me a blog post about selling a home in Phoenix, right? It's going to be very broad. Maybe you're creating this quote unquote blog post for your Google business profile, right? We all know that we can post on our Google business profile, and there's a limitation. It's actually more words than this. I believe it's 1,500. But you can tell it depending on what platform, right? Instructions. If you're using this for your listing descriptions, each MLS has a set number of characters or words allowed in that listing description. Tell it so that you're not going through and changing that or editing it in there. Yeah, I can go through it one more time. All I did is I copied this. So here, what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to copy this template example and put it in the chat box. So you can, what I highly recommend is highlighting and copying this and adding it to maybe a blank Word doc or something on your computer so that you have this template example instead of some of you may have taken a photo or something, right? And you got to retype it out. But here you can just copy and paste it. So I'm doing is I'm copying this and then I just pasted it into ChatGPT. If you haven't been to ChatGPT before, you can just go to chat.openai.com, sign up for an account. If you already have an account, sign in, and then you're just going to create a new chat and paste this in there. All I did was paste this in the prompt box down here, hit enter, and this is what I got back. Okay, it started to work here. Gives you a brief intro, and then it starts talking about everything that we just asked it to do. Karen asks, which phone app do I prefer for ChatGPT? And it is the same version as this for OpenAI. All you're going to do is go to the App Store, type in ChatGPT, and you're going to download the one that is through OpenAI. It's a white background, and it has like a black little symbol there. I know my camera's not on today, but let me ChatGPT OpenAI mobile app. I would use the actual native version. Okay, so when you go to the App Store, you're going to type in ChatGPT. You're going to want to make sure it's through OpenAI, and the background's going to be white, and this little icon is going to actually be black. Okay, it's going to be black. So let's see if I go here to the Apple Store. Okay, it's going to look just like that. Just like that. In Google, I would assume would look the same. Yep. Okay. The mobile app actually is really what I use the majority of the time when I'm using it personally. For trainings, of course, obviously we're on a computer, so I use it that way. But the mobile app is super convenient, very clean, very, very clean and easy to use. Anything that you search for on the mobile app is also stored here on the desktop. So it's all in one account. So any searches you do on the mobile will also show on your desktop and vice versa. Okay, so we can go see that this template of what I asked it to do then gave me this outcome. Okay, this is a lot more detailed than if I would have just asked it this. Okay. All right, let's see some other ones that we got going on. Again, I'm going to be going back and forth so you guys can see real life examples. Here's another one. So this one was geared towards selling. Now we're going to talk about buying, right? So buying Phoenix real estate. Write me a blog post about buying a home in Phoenix. The instruction is the blog post should be between 500 and 750 words, right? We're going less. Written in an informative and a persuasive tone. Maybe you want to say comedy, comical. Maybe you want it to be funny, right? You choose the tone and include at least 7 benefits of relocating to Phoenix. Okay, you're giving it detailed information on what you want it to include. Imagine you're creating this blog post for a real estate agent targeting home buyers who are looking to relocate to Phoenix. So again, I'm going to close out of this. We're going to highlight and copy. Do you guys want this template as well? It's virtually the same. It's just we're talking about buyers instead of sellers. But I'm going to paste this in the chat box as well for you guys, in case you want that real life example. Okay, now we're going to go to ChatGPT. Typically, you'd want to always, anything new, and we're going to talk about this more, you want to start a new chat, okay? Because this is a live, interactive communication with the platform. So if I wanted to go in here and say, now translate this to Spanish, right? It's going to know about that. So anything new, you can see how quickly it does that, which is pretty phenomenal. If you speak more than one language, highly recommend you leverage that in your marketing. But you want to keep these separate so that when you're going through and you go back to something and you needed to, change something in it, or say now rewrite this to be in a funny tone, or rewrite this for, new home buyers, or can you condense this down to under 500 characters or 500 words, right? So you always want to start a new chat box if you have a new prompt that you're putting in. Okay, so I just new chat, I pasted in what I just copied. I'm going to hit enter, and it's going to come back with this here. Again, if you are not adding a new blog post to your website every single week, it takes seconds. Even if it took 5 minutes, right? You don't have to go through and take hours of writing this unless you love writing. Yes, Karen, it's a continuous dialogue, right? Continuous. So starting a new chat thread is warranted for different topics. Yep. Different communication. Say that I'm doing this for this specific blog post and I'm going to write a new blog post about home warranties. You're going to want to do a new chat. Okay. Different topic, or if you're even going in to write your listing description, different chat, right? Unless it pertains to the same piece of content that was just created, you're going to want to do a new chat, because it will, you're going to save this. Okay, so it's geared towards that specific piece of content. and then the new piece will be new and relevant. Good question. So look, you can come through here, see 7 irresistible reasons to make the move, and it goes through and creates that based on what we just told it. Okay, it's a lot more specific. We're going to go back into here. Let's talk about prompt priming. Okay, and we're going to get more detail of what we were just talking about and what Karen was asking is, that ongoing dialogue between you and ChatGPT. Again, change your mindset, act as if that is your assistant. Okay, you're talking to a human. If I was talking to Jody, or let's say I was Jody's assistant and she's telling me, exactly what she wants the blog article be written on and what platforms to be putting it on, and what words it needs to be, then it will, give you better answers. So prompt priming, poor prompt priming. What happens with that? It leads to generic or irrelevant answers. An example could be, can you give me some marketing strategies for my real estate brand on Instagram? Okay. Good prompt priming gives tailored and specific answers that align with your goals. An example would be, I'm a real estate agent looking to market on Instagram to home buyers that are interested in relocating to Phoenix, whether they live in Arizona or another state. What are some effective marketing strategies and best practices for this audience? Okay, a lot more detail will go, a little bit more detail will go a long way. So for instance, I'm going to go in and I'm going to show you guys the difference. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to start a new chat. I'm going to paste this in there. And of course, this broad example will still give you a great outcome, right? It's just the AI technology is pretty outstanding. But we want to get specific so you have actual, pieces and goals that you can actually implement into your business. Okay, so it goes through and creates this. It looks pretty tailored. It looks pretty specific as it's going through this. Okay, but now I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to get the more specific example. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste this in here. And it's going to get very specific on what those items would be. See, market specific. Okay, it talks about Phoenix, talks about certain things in your actual market. You always want to make sure that you are leveraging geographic location. You're taking advantage of that and adding it in there. Local businesses, consistent branding, neighborhood profiles. It gets a lot more specific, talks about geo-targeted ads, specific in your actual market. So again, those little pieces of information and detail that you add to it will garner you a better outcome in what you're looking for. All right. Again, geographic location is huge when it comes to that. So poor prompting, so obviously a lot more broad. Still a good outcome, but it could be better, could be tailored more in specific answers that align with your goals, okay? So the difference between the two there. Iteration and prompt engineering. What is iteration? It's when you ask ChatGPT questions until you have the information you need by rephrasing and giving more context. Why would you do this? Because by asking more questions, you're building a better understanding between the AI and you for more accurate answers. The more questions you ask, or the more questions you ask ChatGPT to ask you, will give you a better accurate answer. And so when you're sitting on information but don't know how to get the best answers or formulations possible for yourself. And how we're going to do that is we're going to edit the question until you have the best answer from ChatGPT and provide more context for better results. So here's our example with iteration. I'm a real estate agent looking to improve my client communication. Can you suggest some strategies to enhance my business processes and create a better experience for my clients? If I need more clarification or ideas, I'll ask further questions. This is a great one for all of us, right? We are approaching the end of Q3. We're going into Q4. We're going to be starting a new year before we even can blink, which is crazy. So this is the time that we should be going in and revamping our business or taking a look at things that need to be updated. Client communication is one of those. everyone can improve their client communication, okay? Especially for the new year, new technologies and all that good stuff. So then you can add in a detail you forgot, like location, your team structure, etc. Either edit your prompt or continue the conversation by asking. So I'm going to come through here and we're going to copy this. I'm going to paste this in there, start a new chat. So here's a quick prompt. I'm going to throw this in here. I'm going to show you how you can go through and ask more questions. Truly, my goal is for you guys to leverage this technology to alleviate those pain points in your business, to allow you, this isn't just about creating blog posts. This is about how can I learn more to grow my real estate business? How can I understand the latest and best strategies and technology that I can implement into my business to actually go from A to B? Okay, so it's going through and it's creating all of this for client communication. Can you suggest some strategies to enhance my business process, create a better experience for my clients? If I need more clarification or ideas, ask for further questions. So it goes through active listening, use technology, CRMs, all that good stuff, feedback, educating your clients. Now, if I go in and I could say, now rewrite this for my target audience and clients that are in Phoenix, Arizona. Okay. And now it's going through and it's rewriting, right? We're communicating. It's just like you and I are having a conversation. So it's going to give you more local knowledge. It's going to give you more local points. It doesn't just have to be geographic location. Maybe you're going to talk about specific CRM. Maybe it's a specific CRM that you use. Maybe if you're with Realty One Group, it's OneSuite, or maybe it's Follow Up Boss or KV Core or whatever it may be, right? Give it specifics so that the outcome, it can give you actionable items that you can actually implement into your business. Okay, now maybe we're going to take one of these. Let's see, educate your clients. Maybe one of them would be, now expand on number 5, educate your clients and give specific details and action items. Okay, and then it's going to go through and give you a lot more different items that you can, right? It expands on that. Think of these each as like little chapters, and then now you're having it expand on that specific one, right? Maybe it's different workshops. What does that look like? Newsletters. What does that look like? Desert home maintenance. What does the maintenance here in the Valley look like differently than maybe Flagstaff or Sedona? The unique features, okay? So again, your communication back and forth is you're giving it more information that's then going to be able to kick back to you detailed actual items that you can actually implement into your business. All right, let me see if we use this on your computer, your phone or computer. Candice, you can do both. It works beautifully on your phone. It's a very clean app. You can do it on both. And you can go back and forth. All of these on the left are saved. Anything that we're asking it are all saved. So you can go back and forth. So if you did one on a computer and then you're in the car or you're at a meeting or something, you can pull your phone out and continue the prompting there as well. All right, we're going to jump back in here. Let's talk about act as, right? Another prompt technique. Act as is when we're going to ask ChatGPT to simulate the expertise of a specific professional. Okay, side note here, you could literally ask it to act as a doctor, act as an accountant, act as whatever the profession may be. Be very careful, right? AI is not our doctor. AI is not an accountant. AI is not necessarily a human being, right? So I just want to preface that because that came up in the last one. But why would you want to tell it to act as, right? To access specialized and targeted answers from a simulated expert to save time and resources. So for our industry, something that you would tell it to act as is maybe digital marketing expert. SEO expert, right? Search engine optimization. Those items would be very relevant for our industry. And you use it when you need expert guidance from an expert's perspective. So we're going to ask ChatGPT to act as a specific expert, providing the necessary context and information. So our general example is, give me 3 strategies to improve my online presence for my real estate business. Give me 3 strategies to improve my online presence for my real estate business. Again, we're approaching the end of the year. If you haven't done an online presence audit, this is a great example to get an outline. So act as example would be, act as a digital marketing expert and give me 3 strategies. Give my 3 strategies to improve my online presence for my real estate business. So let's take a look at the difference. We're going to go new chat here. I'm going to paste in this one, a little bit more general. Still, it will give you a good outcome. But when we tell it to act as, it's going to get a lot more specific and expertise. Someone asked, how far back does it save? Literally from the time you signed up. There's no limit currently. No limit currently. So the day I signed up, if I went all the way back to the hundreds and hundreds of prompts I put in, it'll save those. You can go back and see those. Okay, so here's the first one. Looks great, right? But let's get a little bit more specific. So I'm going to go in, copy this. I'm going to paste this one in there. Act as a digital marketing expert. And it's going to get a lot more detailed in the outcome for what you asked it. And it's going to be a lot more specific to that digital marketing industry expert. The majority of the prompts that you would ask for act as is going to be digital marketing or SEO, because that's a lot of the stuff that we create, right? So if you're creating a post for your Google business profile, maybe you're having it act as an SEO expert and to include keywords for my local market in Phoenix, Arizona, okay? Or for real estate, right? It's going to use a lot of those housing keywords, or if it's market specific, it's going to use a lot of those market keywords over and over again, okay? So in your prompts, the majority of the time, you can just say act as, okay? Act as digital marketing expert, whatever it may be in there, so you can leverage that expertise for that piece of content that you're actually creating. Maybe it's for video. Act as a video marketing expert. Act as a social media manager expert. Act as a social media marketing expert, right? All those different elements. Act as an email marketing expert. Act as a mobile marketing expert. All those different things, right? Think about those ways so that your outcome, the content that it's producing, is very, very specific, detailed, and expert level, so that you're creating valuable content. All right, we talked about this a little bit earlier, the 4th grader technique. 4th grader technique takes complex concepts and simplifies them. You can make complex ideas accessible to all levels of expertise. Again, with everything happening in 2023 and beyond, right? Technology is on steroids. There's a lot of new platforms and technology coming out, or maybe there's just different techniques and strategies that we need to consume quicker. So telling it to the 4th grader technique or explain it to a 4th grader doesn't reduce the quality of the content. It just bullet points and it makes it a lot easier for you to consume it quicker and understand what the actual thing is that you're trying to learn. So when talking to a diverse audience to ensure clear and easy to understand information for everyone, and how we're going to do that is we're just going to simplify it as if you were a child. So let's go to the next screen here. Some of you may have heard of the Pomodoro technique before. This is a more of a psychology thing, but this is great for time management. Now, I bring this up in today's training because, again, I keep talking about we're nearing the end of Q3, getting into Q4. Who's reached their goals this year? Are we still on track? Do we still have some work to do? What are our goals for next year, right? When we start treating our business as if it's a business and not just necessarily this is a career, is when we separate ourselves from those that are chasing the business into actually growing, right? Going from point A to point B. So the Pomodoro technique is a time management thing that we're going to take a look at right now. So a general example would be if I copy this top one, I'm going to do new chat, paste it in there. Highly recommend you guys actually just go in and learn more about this technique if you want to get better with your time management. I know that is something I can do as well. I think we can all as humans do that. We get overwhelmed fairly easily, but it's going to go through and talk about what that technique is with time management developed by this person in the late 1980s. Here's how the Pomodoro technique works. Choose a task, right? All that talks about working for 25 minutes, 5-minute break, 25 minutes, 5-minute break, right? And all that to actually get things done. So I'm going to go back in now and I'm going to ask it. This goes hand in hand with the previous prompts as well, right? That open dialogue going back and forth. Now, explain it to a fourth grader. Some of you might think this is comical. Imagine you have a big box of crayons and a coloring book. You want to color many pages, right? So it's going to break it. Look how much, this is obviously still done very well, breaking it down in bullet points. But if there's anything that's crazy, maybe you're trying to run Google pay-per-click ads. Maybe you want more knowledge on Facebook ads or a Facebook pixel, target marketing, anything like that in your business that you've heard of, you've kind of learned a little bit about, but you just need it to be better explained in bullets or easily better digestible for the knowledge, right? So all you have to do is say, now explain it to a fourth grader, and it's going to go through, and it's like setting a rule. I will color for a short time, then take a break to stretch and play, and then color again, right? So all of those different items, you can break it down so it's easier to understand a concept. Again, this is an extreme example, but things like I just talked about, Google pay-per-click ads or different technology. Maybe it's ChatGPT, maybe it's social media marketing, right? Just give me an easier way to understand how I can get better at this and explain it to a fourth grader is going to allow you to be able to consume that content much quicker. Follow-up questions. We've been doing this kind of in the last few here, but follow-up questions are important. They encourage ChatGPT to go deeper into topics by asking you questions. So we asked ChatGPT all these questions, but now we're going to have it ask us questions. So for example, why would one do this? To get a deeper understanding of complex ideas and make smarter decisions. When you have complex topics or topics you want to dive deeper into to get detailed information. And how we're going to do it is we're going to ask ChatGPT to ask you questions until it has all the information needed to provide the best answers. So an example would be, tell me how to put together a strong business plan for my real estate business. If you need more information, ask me follow-up questions. Okay. Again, I'm using these because we're nearing the end of the year. So these are great ideas and points for you guys to be able to schedule time with yourself to actually complete these. So if I go in and I paste this prompt in here, it's going to give us an actual business plan, right? Who's done a business plan this year? Maybe you did it at the end of last year. It's getting that time. We've got to do it again. You own your own real estate business, okay? We have to separate ourselves. Just, yes, it may be a career, absolutely, but we operate a business. So it's going to go through and talk about all these different items. And let's see what it does at the end. Look at it, it's asking us follow-up questions, right? It's asking us follow-up questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste this in here. And I'm going to put in answers. What specific niche or segment of real estate are you focusing on? My niche and target audience is homeowners and home sellers in the Phoenix, I'm going to say the greater Phoenix market. Are you starting a new business or looking to expand existing one? I am looking to expand my existing real estate business so I can grow my sales 30% more in 2024, right? Getting more specific. What did I spell wrong here? Just one sec. Do you have a team in place or are you a solo entrepreneur? I am a single agent with a transaction, I can spell transaction coordinator, and maybe you have an assistant. Are you seeking external funding or planning to self-fund your business? Not really relevant, but I'm just gonna say I am self-funding my business. Okay, I put those in there, and it knows logically. Okay, and now it's gonna add in. It's gonna rewrite this and add in a lot more details. What's the purpose of your plan, right? I just created a business plan for 2024. This is the outline, and now we have to actually go in and put in the work, but it goes through and then adds in more detail. So in the prompt, when you're telling it to, if you need more information, ask me follow-up questions, this will allow it to trigger certain questions that it's going to ask you so that whatever content or piece that you're generating will be more specific to your business, okay? So we started with this very broad, and then it asked those additional questions, and it got even more detailed in the response. And you can get even more detail. Give it the business name, right? It knows that you're serving the greater Phoenix market. Maybe you're going to be more specific. Maybe you're serving a specific zip code. Maybe you're serving 2 cities, whatever it may be, right? Wherever you are in your market and your focus is, okay? It's going to ask you those additional details, and then it rewrites it, okay? And again, I can keep going back and forth and asking it those questions. So follow-up questions are important because, again, it will just get more detailed. I encourage you all, whether you use ChatGPT as a starting point to write a business plan, but now is the time to start thinking about and scheduling, a couple hours over the next month or so, or 2 months, and start planning for 2024, right? Take a look at where you had successes in 2023 and where you can improve. Where are parts of your business that you want to improve on? Is it your online presence? Is it you want to make more calls, right? You need to prospect more, and you can include that in your business plan and scheduling that in your schedule and calendar for 2024. But this is a great place to go to get the process going. All right, we got a couple more here. So using ChatGPT to summarize. Asking ChatGPT to condense large or complicated information into something short and easy to understand. You'd want to do this to save time and key points from complex and lengthy text and videos fast. When you need an overview, make content shorter, get key points from videos, or scan through reviews. How you're going to do that is you're just going to give ChatGPT articles, videos, or reviews to summarize and get tips on improving and getting better. So an example would be if we want to summarize an article. So if I say Google PPC for real estate, I'm just going to pull an article. If you didn't know, when you do a Google search like this, you have some tools over here so you can filter. Or if I hit tools, this pops up. You can say anytime. I don't want to learn about PPC from 5 years ago, 10 years ago, even 2 years ago. I want to know in the last year, maybe in the last month, right? So you can filter on when the article was actually written. So I'm going to do past year. And we are going to how to use Google Ads for high quality leads, right? I'm just going to pull this article, close out of that ad. And I'm literally going to highlight and copy this entire page down to the end, copy. And then I'm going to go into ChatGPT on that prompt. Let's go to this prompt real quick. So I'm going to copy this one real quick, this prompt. Summarize this article with the key points in a number form. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to paste this in here. I'm going to go back to this article, copy that. You can do this for any article. You can do it for a video if you include the link of a video. Hit enter. And it's just going to break down this lengthy article to a lot easier bullet points with quick points that you can more easily digest and just learn better, right? Gives you tips for effective Google ads for real estate, the ad copy quickly, target audience, relevance, gives you all this information of what you need to be successful in running those Google ads. So instead of taking the time to read through all of this article, you can always just break it down. It could be for anything. It could be targeted ads, it could be Facebook ads, it could be strategies, it could be books. Summarize a book for you, okay? Videos, you can paste a video link in there to summarize the video link as well. Any questions so far? Feedback? You guys are awesome for bearing with me today. I think this is the last one. Yeah, teach me. So prompt technique, teach me. What is it? You're asking ChatGPT for step-by-step instructions to learn new skills or expand knowledge. You'd want to do this to grow your knowledge base in a specific fields to stay up to date. Who got in this industry not knowing how much actually goes into being successful in real estate? It's a lot, right? You have to work with clients. You have to know how to negotiate. You have to know social media. You have to know all these different things that go into this business. And this is a great way for you to quickly understand a lot of that different knowledge. So when you're looking to learn new tools or softwares and are looking for a quick guide, and how we're going to do is we're going to ask ChatGPT for step-by-step instructions, include the goal you have and the level of your current skills. So if I come into here, who's heard of CapCut? It's a video editing app software. Okay, we all know video is important. Okay, we know that 51% of home buyers choose YouTube as their number one research platform. Number one research platform. Okay, so I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it into a new chat. So if you need to learn step by step, maybe it's how to set up a Google business profile. Of course, you should go to youtube.com/Rock University and watch our videos, but you can always ask it for detailed step-by-step guides here. So teach me as a complete beginner how to use CapCut, whatever the software may be, or whatever the content is that you want to learn more about, to edit marketing videos for Instagram step by step. So if I paste that in there, it's going to give me step-by-step instructions and details on how I can actually go there. So how do I even install it? Okay, go to your device's app store, search CapCut, download the app. Okay, how do I start a new project? Tap on new project button. Okay, it goes through details. Trimming, what is trimming? How do I do it? Splitting, deleting, adding transitions, adding text, adding music, effects and filters. How to adjust the video speed. Exporting for Instagram, specifically for Instagram, right? It's got to be at that 1080p. And then uploading. Not only how do I use the software, but then how do I download it and upload it to my Instagram account? You can go through and do that there. And then it gives you some quick tips for marketing videos. Why you should keep it short, engage quickly, your clear call to action, branding, test and analyze. Okay. So again, it doesn't just have to be CapCut. It could be YouTube Shorts. It could be YouTube. It could be your Google business profile, social media marketing. But you're leveraging this software to teach you and break it down as if you were a complete beginner so that you can start leveraging and implementing each of these items that we know are important for our business through this software. All right, I'm going to go back over here. Any questions on prompt engineering today? You guys are troopers. Any questions? Let's see, who else is on? Tim Allen, hello, hello. You're on. Susie, welcome. Saudi, Sammy, Rochelle, hello. Linda, I saw you jump on. Any questions on ChatGPT or prompt engineering in general? I wanted to do the prompt engineering one because I want you guys to know that you can leverage, it's just beyond blog post, right? Even though we should all be doing that, it's super easy. Go in and do it. But it's beyond blog post. It's, that open dialogue. It's teaching you how to do new things, new strategies, new pieces of technology, right? Leveraging it as your assistant, using it to help you create your business plan, using it to help you create your marketing strategy. Leveraging this technology so that you can not only just become a better agent, but grow your real estate business. Awesome, Elisa. I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys bearing with me today. If you jumped on after the call, I have been under the weather. So, you know, I appreciate your patience and for today's training. As always, this will be edited and up on the Rock University YouTube channel tomorrow morning, by tomorrow morning. So you can always go to youtube.com/Rock University.
Justin, can I ask a quick question?
Of course.
The prompts that are on the left-hand side, how long do those stay there? Do they expire at some point?
They do not expire currently. There hasn't been a set limit on that yet. So if I scroll back all the way to when I very first started, you can see it's going to start loading, or it might start loading, but it'll go all the way back to the very beginning of when it loads. There hasn't been a set limit currently. Now, not to say that that won't change tomorrow, because it's ever evolving, but there hasn't been a set limit currently.
Thank you.
Of course.
I have a question. You mentioned something about $20 a month subscription. What was that all about?
Yes, so with ChatGPT, there's still a free version. So if I go up here, and you can see there's 3.5 and GPT-4. 3.5 is still free. That's the free version there. So when you go to, and if you haven't been there yet, you can go to OpenAI or just Google OpenAI.
I'm a member, yeah. I've signed in, yeah.
And then when you go there, whoops, ChatGPT, you can come here and I'm already signed in, but it's going to ask you to create a login. You can just go with the free version, or the $20 a month one is GPT-4. They put numbers out there that it's 100,000 times more intelligent, and you have the plugin benefits down here. You can see plugins beta, which I'll do training on that next month, and you get priority access, meaning that when the servers are bogged down, there's a lot of people on the site, it'll say there's a lot of activity happening and to come back later and try it again. If you have GPT-4, you always can log in. You're never penalized if there's, the servers are overwhelmed.
Okay, other question I have is, do we have to identify when we are asking for any particular thing that we are in the United States?
You can get specific to that. This is global technology, so you can get specific, to create the content for the United States. And everything that I've done has been it's been 100% like US based.
Okay.
But you can be specific in your prompt saying US. I would always make it market specific. So if I'm in Phoenix selling, I'm going to talk about Phoenix. Or if I'm in Sedona selling, I'm going to talk about Sedona or Las Vegas or wherever you are on the call. You're going to be very specific to your geographic location so that the technology knows the information it's going to be outputting is specific to your market. Okay. And to that point, be careful, guys, of what you're putting in here, because fair housing laws still pertain. Okay, so you don't necessarily want to put in here, I'm targeting a subdivision or community that is, for even families, right? Or for single persons or age, demographic, right? Be careful about the information that you're putting in here, because you don't want to, one, leave a paper trail, but two, you don't want to be in violation of that.
Good point. Good point.
All right, let me see. There's some others in here. Google filter. Yeah, cool. So the Google filter is super helpful, guys. So when you're going through and doing those Google searches, just remember you can always do tools. So after you do here, you click tools and this pops up here, and then you can do that, right? So you can get relevant information. I can do past month, and now I have articles that were written in 30 days. It's fresh content. So when you're researching, interior design or color themes or virtually anything that you're creating for a blog post or content you're putting out, just make sure it's super relevant, right? Color themes or interior design or things like that have changed in the last year or so, right? So you want to make sure that you're adding that in there.
Have you used Bing?
Have I used what?
Bing AI, Microsoft.
I have not used that yet.
All right.
Hannah asks, is 3.5 up to date with the info? Yes. So the end of it's both versions are up to date through the end of 2021. Okay, meaning that it's not going to have I say this, but sometimes when I ask it prompts, it knows like things that happened last month. But what OpenAI and ChatGPT say is they have information up through the end of 2021. So it doesn't have a whole lot of information about 2022. Okay. But again, as you go through this and you ask certain prompts, I have personally and other agents have seen very recent relevant content information. But just know it's through the end of 2021. Good questions, guys. And real quickly, the training schedule is going to change a little bit. We have Debbie DeGroat, who was supposed to be on the 21st. She had a schedule conflict. So we are moving her to the 28th at 9 a.m. I'm going to send it out to everybody. I'm going to update the website and links. So Debbie DeGroat, Discover 5 Lead Gen Leverage, Grow Your Business, will be on the 28th at 9 a.m. And I will replace next week's training with something else. We'll probably have another guest coach on talking about your growing your business and something like that. But I'll make sure everybody that is a member and that gets out to all the brokers and everything as well. Otherwise, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. And we will see you in escrow very, very soon. And of course, in the next training. Take care, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.